Hey guys, happy New Year's Eve. If it's after New Year's Eve, then happy 2014. I wanted to do something a little bit different for this video. I was tagged to do the Make Up Your New Year's Resolution tag. It was created by Grace from Cosmetic Couturier here on YouTube, so I will definitely leave her link down below. If you'd like to do the tag, of course, feel free to do it. But this video is going to be the tag minus the eye look and lip look here. And then after the tag, I show you how I have applied this eye look using the Saucebox Midnight Blossoms palette and a couple of pieces from the Pumpkin and Poppy collections that I have here in my stash. So I hope you enjoy. I will leave the times down below if you want to skip ahead to the tutorial and skip the tag. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's Eve and a fantastic 2014. And I will talk to you soon. Enjoy the video. Bye. Okay, so let's start with a couple questions from this tag before I begin with my eye look. And it is kind of funny to come on here with no, done up face. So the Make Up Your New Year's Resolution tag. This is the first question. What is a technique you've improved on during the past year? Probably two things. The first one is probably messing with eyeliner, like different ways to wear, winged looks or thicker liner, and also eyelashes. I never, ever tried eyelashes before I got onto YouTube. I just like how my eyes look on camera a bit more finished when I have a pair of false lashes on, and becoming a YouTube person kind of got me into learning how to do that and do it pretty well. I don't have any on right now, so these are my sparse little natural lashes. Number two, what is your overall most used makeup product this year? I use a lot of products. I own a lot of products, and because I own a lot of products, I continually switch them up, which is why you don't see a lot of favorites videos coming out of my channel, because I switched up every day. I don't wear the same lip gloss every day. But something I never ever leave the house without doing is my eyebrows. And I've done them before filming this video because, as I've said in I think one other tag, like the Beauty Things I Suck At tag, my eyebrows are very thin, they're very light because I used to get them threaded when I was in high school, and they never came back to being nice and full brows. So I really never ever leave the house without at least doing my lashes. And what I use is a tiny Stila brush that I've had forever. I think this is the either 33 or 23. I mean, it has worn off. It's one of those double-ended brushes, so it's got a teeny tiny liner brush on this end, and then this is the side I use to fill in my brows. So I fill them in with Saucebox's Carmella. It's a very dark brown eyeshadow, and this has worked whether I've had red hair or dark brown hair like what I have right now. And then on top of that, where is it now? I put on the Too Faced, oh, what is this called? Brownie eyebrow pencil. So it's just regular pencil that you have to sharpen. On one end is the little spoolie guy, and I usually just line the bottom of my eyebrow and then kind of fill in a little bit more. It just helps the color stay throughout the day, because sometimes just using an eyeshadow to kind of fill it in here and there, sometimes that can wear off or fade throughout the day, and that's something that I don't want going anywhere when I'm running around. What brand would you like to try in the coming year? Honestly, the one brand I've been kind of researching a little bit lately has been Sleek Cosmetics. It's kind of a drugstore type brand from the UK, so I've been really interested in kind of seeing what they have to offer, especially their eyeshadow palettes, because I've heard really awesome things about their eyeshadows and I want to check those out. Let's see, this is an optional one I think, but which are your favorite products which of your favorite products has been the most difficult to replace as a cruelty-free alternative? It was, and I still have it here. Is this it? Yeah. My MAC Strut Eyebrow Crayon. I mean, I wore this down to nothing. It's in the color Strut, and now I'm using the Too Faced Brownie, and Too Faced is a cruelty-free. It's not natural, but it's a cruelty-free brand. And what are you using now if you've replaced the item? It's the Too Faced. Are there any products that you want to use up this year? Oh my God, I just want to use up something. I don't know. I can't think of anything offhand that I'm like, I got to get rid of this because I don't like it. I really enjoy all the products that I have. But if I use them up, I probably won't be replacing them because I have, you know, so many other things to go through. So if I use something up, great. I can start working on something else that is already in my collection. Favorite winter activity, and what do you wear and how do you do your makeup for it? Favorite winter activity so far. When I was a kid, it was definitely sledding. Loved going down, you know, huge hills on my sled since I was a little kid to the time I was a teenager. I grew up in Chicago, so we had a ton of snow always that you could count on. So there was always a bunch of snow that you can sled on. And then since marrying a military man and living in Washington State because we were stationed there and not having a lot of snow, and then living here in Virginia where there's not a lot of snow, you get a little bit, but nothing like Chicago. What I love is horseback riding in the snow because there's not a ton that we get here. I mean, it would be a freak storm if we got a lot of snow, but riding when it's so quiet, you really only hear the birds, you know, and the hoofbeats of the horse in the snow. It's almost magical, and I love it. And that's my favorite winter activity. It makes me wish that we got more snow here. Let's see, where am I? What is one bad makeup habit that you want to break in the coming year? I don't really have a bad makeup habit. I have a bad makeup removal habit, and that is that I have come to rely a lot on makeup wipes for the face, like when you're too tired, and I really just need to start taking off my makeup earlier in the evening. I really hope that this isn't too light. It's evening and I'm trying to get the right lighting, but it might be a little bit too light. So if it is, sorry. It gets dark at like 4 o'clock now. So yeah, I need to get back into, you know, my regular skincare habit of washing, toning, moisturizing and all that, because my skin is starting to show me that it doesn't appreciate just being wiped off with makeup remover and then hitting the pillow. Favorite... Well, I don't know about vegan clothing. Favorite clothing to keep warm and dry in the winter. I love pea coats. I love pea coats. And my favorite one that I have right now is one I got a couple years ago from Target. And it's just a red pea coat with snaps on the front. And I love it because it's got a huge hood. And, you know, if it's rainy or if it's snowing, I love just being able to have something to cover up my head. I love having that. I've worn it at the barn. You can't wash it, but you can get it dry cleaned. It dry cleans really nice. So even if I get it dirty while I'm at, you know, the stables, I can get it cleaned and it's fine. And I think it was under like $50, and it's been in the closet for a few years, so long lasting. A fellow YouTuber you really loved watching this year. I will leave her link down below. I think how you say it is Panacea81. She is a lovely YouTube personality. She just makes me smile. No matter what I'm doing, I watch her and I just love her to bits. She's funny. She has a huge makeup collection, which she's trying to get through. And the way that she does it is she's got bins separated of a bin of blush, a bin of lip gloss, a bin of eyeshadow pigments. And she goes through and she calls it a lucky dip. and she goes in, she doesn't get blindfolded or anything, but I think she doesn't look at what she's picking up, and she picks up a piece from every bin, and then she has to make a look with whatever colors she picked up. And, you know, usually they're kind of dramatic looks, but she pulls them off. She's very funny. She put together a Facebook page for people who are feeling down, and feel like they need a friend, so you can connect with people. She's just lovely. Her accent is adorable, and I just love her so much. So I will definitely leave her link down below. Are you planning to wear a lipstick or gloss when the ball drops at midnight? I am actually planning to wear a mix of my Pumpkin and Poppy Party Girl and Cardigan lip butters. So we will see what that looks like. What is your best New Year's Eve memory? My best New Year's Eve memory is when I was finally old enough to drive when I was 16, before I moved away from Chicago. My girlfriends and a group of guy friends would pile into 1 or 2 cars and drive down to Chicago. And we have a beautiful fountain right in the middle of the city, and they start to blow off fireworks. Now, I think that they've started to do fireworks at Navy Pier, but we used to, every year, drive down to the city and watch the fireworks. We used to try to get on the news because the news teams would always be there, and some years we'd get on and some years we wouldn't. But the most magical ones were definitely the ones that, you know, snow was falling and you'd see these huge fireworks. But those are my favorite New Year's memories. What's the best thing that happened to you this year? Definitely we purchased a horse this year. I am a horse owner, and I love him to bits. In fact, let's see, I have a couple pictures of Walker. Here's one of them. That's my boy. And here's another. Isn't he pretty? That's my baby. Let's see. I'm going to talk a little bit more about him a little bit further on down here. Describe the year 2013 in 3 words. Is it over? No, I don't know. I don't know why, you know, we're always so ready for like the next one to come. This year was not a bad year. It was a good one. But you know, you're always kind of excited for the new year and what the new year is going to bring for you. So, you know, just excited for 2014. That's a little more optimistic, right? What activity or hobby are you finally going to take up in 2014? I don't know what I'm going to personally do, but I know what I'm going to end up doing because my husband is getting into playing hockey. So my new activity is being a hockey wife. So I am going to go and watch him do his thing on the ice because he has supported me through countless lessons, horseback riding and stuff like that. So now it's my turn to go and be a cheerleader. Let's see. Hypothetically, you win the lottery in 2014. If you could donate to any charity in 2014, which charity is dear to you and why? I showed you a couple pictures of my gorgeous boy, Walker. And Walker is a standard bred horse. That's the breed that he is. And what he's known for breed-wise, you know how thoroughbreds run racetracks? Standard breds do a bit of the same thing, except they do it with the cart behind them. So if you've seen those kinds of races where the horse is pulling the cart, that's what Walker's breed is known for. And, you know, they kind of have a bit of a hard time when they come off of the racetrack finally. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have an avalanche here. So my husband and I have been looking into some Adopt a Horse, Rescue Society types of charities because when we first purchased Walker, he did not look like this. Walker was extremely emaciated. He was extremely lethargic when we purchased him. He was too sick looking to even be put into an auction. he was just very skinny. You could see his bones, and not just his ribs. You could see his hips. You could see, the back, his spine. It was bad. In fact, when we purchased him, we did not ride him for about 2 weeks just so that he could get some food into him. And the reason he was so skinny is because he was put into a pasture, and in the middle of the summer, he ate what he could find. So in Virginia, it gets very hot in the summertime. The grass dries up. He did not have hay. He did not have access to grain, and he just got to be skin and bones. And we'd been looking to lease a horse and couldn't find a horse to lease in the area. Started looking into possibly purchasing one. And we found him, and when we went to go and see him, he looked very different from the photos, because he looked a little bit healthier in the photos, and then time had obviously passed since then, so he did not look good. But we could not, we just could not leave him in the environment and the circumstances he was in, so we bought him. And I would love to say that he's like right in our backyard, but unfortunately we do not have room to have him at our house. So he is boarded at a stable about 5 minutes away, and we see him pretty much every day. But he is so good, and he's been so good no matter who rides him, no matter who comes to visit him. He's just a very loving horse. And I just have a huge issue with his circumstances. So my husband and I have been looking into the Standard Bred Retirement Foundation. It's a 24-year-old nonprofit finding homes for horses for pleasure and companionship. And they also care for 108 horses that are unadoptable due to age or injury. And they do equine programs to benefit both. So that's located in New Jersey. They do have standard bred horses that are for sale if you're interested in actually purchasing a horse. But what I would hope for people who follow my channel, people who talk about being vegetarians, people who are vegan, people who are cruelty-free, people who have gone all natural, not everyone can afford to adopt an animal like that, or even adopt dogs or cats or anything, but you always have some available time. And if you can put some time in at a shelter or a rescue, animals like Walker, animals, who have gone through hard times, you would not believe how much they love a human being who shows them love and care and attention. Because honestly, any animal that I've ever owned that's come from a rescue society, and we've owned cats, our dogs did not come from rescues, but some of our cats did, Walker did. They love you so much when they finally get put into a good home. So my challenge to you would be, if you can't adopt, spend some time at a shelter or a rescue society and just give your love, give your attention, give your care. You'll learn a ton of things about the animals that you're passionate about. They're beautiful creatures, and they deserve love in this life, especially the ones who have, been done harm and been abused and been abandoned, and it's just heartbreaking. So anyway, very happy to say that we were able to provide a home for Walker and get him very healthy and get him, running around and training and doing the things that a horse his age is able to do. But there are so many like him that don't have a home, that don't have good circumstances, and just a little bit of time really helps. What food or beverage are you going to give up in 2014? I don't think anything. I might cut back. I don't think I'm giving up squat. And if you could have one of your dreams come true for 2014, what would it be and why? I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. One of my dreams come true in 2014. Owning a horse was a big one. That was a big, big dream that we wanted for a long time. I've wanted a horse since I was a little kid. Like every little kid asks Santa for a pony. That was me. So Anyway, I have to think on it. I have to think on that one. That's a tough one. But anyway, if you're interested in doing this tag, by all means, please feel free to do it. I am going to go ahead and get myself ready for New Year's Eve. Feel free to follow along. I'm going to be using my Saucebox Midnight Blossoms palette because I thought it was appropriate, and also some pumpkin and poppy products. And I hope to talk to you guys soon. I hope you have a very, very happy New Year's Eve. If you're watching this after New Year's Eve, then happy 2014 to you. I hope it is prosperous and lucky and full of all the things that you love. Take care. Okay, so now on to the tutorial. So I have my foundation done already, and my powder. I have primed my eyes with my Wet n Wild Fergie Take on the Day eyeshadow primer. I love this stuff since I have purchased this. This has been the only eye primer I've used. It's cruelty-free and it's awesome. No matter what product I'm using, cream, powder, doesn't matter. It does not crease on me. So I am going to be using a couple of products for this look, but the main palette I'm going to be using is from Saucebox Cosmetics, and it is the Midnight Blossoms palette. I thought that was only appropriate to use for New Year's, but I'm going to start off with a cream base. This is Pumpkin and Poppy Ice Dance. It is a cream eyeshadow, and I just put it on with my finger here, and I just want to do this so that I get a little bit of base for the eyeshadows to really kind of pop. Let's see here. You guys let me know if you like both eyes being done or one eye being done or whatnot. I'm hoping that I am going to be in the frame the whole time, but we'll see. I've only ever done my eyes on camera once before, so I'm hoping this works out in my favor. Okay, so Ice Dance cream shadow is on, and this is the Saucebox palette. Now I have a review up on this. I will link it down below if you'd like to see my review. Let's see here. What do I want to start out with? I think I'm going to start with this kind of taupey gray shade here. These colors are really, really nice to work with. Hopefully you can see this because they are definitely nicely pigmented. I do tap off the excess only because there's not a ton of fallout with these shadows. I really don't think that it's much of a big deal, but I do already have my foundation on and I'd rather not be cleaning everything up. So just tapping that on into the inner part of the lid and the outer corner of the lid as well. I may be building up this color here in just a little bit, but I have left kind of this middle section open for a different shade. Now I'm going to be using just kind of this tapered blending brush and going in with this shade right here. I don't believe that these have names, but the shades themselves are just beautiful. So I'm just going to go back and forth. I want this to be kind of a nice transition, and I also kind of want to blend the two areas together. I'll tell you, it takes some getting used to doing your makeup in front of the camera and getting your face where it needs to be, all while trying to not poke out your eyes. Okay, now I'm going to take a kind of a flat blending brush, and I want to take this olive green color right here, Very pretty. I kind of want to do a smoky look with a bit of color. So I'm going to be putting that green right into the center. I'd like to do a couple more of these little get ready with me videos because I don't know, I find watching these to be quite fun. Okay, next is going to be the smoky brown with a bunch of pretty golden shimmer. This is going right into the crease. Just want to darken that crease up just a little bit. Give it a nice blend. If you can tell, that transition color that I used is really helping to blend this color out and just make some of these colors flow together a little bit easier. Okay, now I am going to go back into this grayish taupey color that I put on the outer and inner lids and just darken that up just a smidge. Sometimes when you're blending, you blend a little bit of that color right off. I really like this palette a lot because you can do a nice sheer wash of color, or you can really layer the colors on and get a more opaque look. So I'm going to kind of dust off that blending brush that I used to put the transition color in. Not adding any more color, I just want to kind of smooth everything out, especially on these outer corners here. Okay, and let's see, I'm going to take, let's see here. This is Inventor cream color, also from Pumpkin and Poppy. And I want to actually line the bottom lid here because we're going to be putting a little bit of color and I want it to have a bit of a darker base. There we go. Maybe use a little bit of that to line as well. I think I'm going to go over this with a dark eyeliner. You can already hear the kids in the neighborhood setting off fireworks. I love that. It's like, you know, 7 o'clock in the evening and on New Year's Eve and already we've got fireworks blowing off. Okay, now I'm going to take this very pretty jewel toned purple right here and I'm going to put that over the dark liner on the bottom. And you guys will have to forgive me this time if the lighting is kind of bad to be doing this because again, if I don't film during the day, and that would be in the morning, then I have to use artificial light and I don't have the best lighting setup just yet. Although it's been a year on YouTube, January 10th of 2013 was the very first upload I ever put on YouTube. So it's gonna be 1 year soon. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me and subscribing and commenting and looking at the videos. I love interacting with you guys. It's been so much fun. Lastly, I'm gonna take this sparkly kind of lavender and I'm gonna use this as my highlight. Here we go. And a little bit goes a long way with some of these more shimmery colors from Saucebox. But they're very pretty. I do like working with them. And they do blend nicely into the other shimmery shades and also the matte shades that Saucebox offers as well. They're just very pretty. Okay. All right, I think that's it for that palette. And let's see now what I do with my liner. Here is my liner. And I just want to line the waterline. Oh, I hear those fireworks. I'm just glad that my dogs aren't freaking out. Anybody else have dogs that bark back at the fireworks? Sometimes ours do and sometimes ours don't. Mine are getting a little bit older. I think they're kind of understanding what the fireworks are all about, but sometimes one big one will just kind of catch them off guard, and I don't know. Sometimes it's better to stay home with them and keep them calm than to go out. I just feel bad. My dogs are getting a little bit older now, and sometimes they'll get kind of shaky with those loud noises. So, all right. So there is the eye look. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Nope, that's in. There we go. Okay. All right. And let's see here. What do I want to use? I'm going to use Pumpkin & Poppy's Incognito Blush just to put a little bit of color on the cheeks. Not too much because this is definitely pigmented and it's definitely orangey, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful shade. And for nighttime, I feel like you can get away with a little bit more blush in the evening. There we go. I do have my contour on. I used Illamasqua's Hollow just right in here and gave it a nice blend. All right, and let's see. For lips, I said I wanted to do a mix of Pumpkin & Poppy's Cardigan. It's this nice lavender shade. And this will just be really nice as a moisturizer. It is a shea butter formula. There is no scent. It's just a shea butter scent because that's the main ingredient in these. And I want to mix it also with, where did it go? Pumpkin & Poppy's Party Girl. Oh, there we go. Can you guys hear that? That one's pretty loud. That must be a neighbor. Oh, I like these mixed together. I didn't want to go really glossy for this evening because it's pretty windy outside and any gloss I use is going to end up like all over my lips. I can't stand that. That's such a pet peeve of mine. Is it one of yours? So, okay. I think that is going to be the finished look for New Year's. We are about to go out and about, enjoy some fireworks, have some dinner, and that's it. So you guys have a fantastic night. Be safe. Please be safe. Have a very happy and healthy 2014. I will see you soon. Bye.